A few months ago, I went on a long trip around the country of Indonesia, and you know, I expected it to be good, but it was so incredible. And there were 5 things in particular that really surprised me. I would even say shocked me about my trip to Indonesia. Things I did not expect. Number 1, the trains. The trains, guys, oh my god. I went on 5 trains in Indonesia. 2 of them were commuter lines. The KRL commuter line that went from Jakarta to Bogor, and also the KAI commuter line that went from Jogja to Solo. I paid about 70 cents for each of them. Those were 1-hour rides, best value for money you can ever expect. They were very comfortable. There's a proper locomotive that pulls the wagons. There's a lot of wagons, maybe about 10 or 12 per train, and you know, they offer a lot of space for the people, and it offers a lifeline for so many Indonesians who go to work, who travel from Bogor to Jakarta and the other way around, from Jogja to Solo and vice versa. It's really good. So you know, that was a very nice surprise. In fact, the KRL train in Jakarta was the first train I've ever been to in Indonesia, and it was so good. I also went on a few other trains, like the Whoosh train that goes from Jakarta to Bandung. So it connects Halim station in Jakarta with several stations in Bandung. The Whoosh train is incredibly quick. I clocked it at about 320 kilometers per hour, I think. It can go even faster. It's so quick. I think it goes even quicker on the way from Bandung back to Jakarta, because it's a little bit downhill. It's pretty much as quick as the bullet trains in China, in you know, Korea, in Taiwan, and in France, the TGV. So you know, the trains in Indonesia were just incredible. I also went on a luxury train, a panoramic car from Bandung to Jogja. It actually goes all the way to Surabaya, but I stopped in Jogja, and it was again amazing. It was like first class on a plane. I had my own attendant, not my own attendant, but you know, there were 2 attendants for the whole Panoramic Class, and you got 2 meal boxes. One of them was a proper beef and rice dish. You also got free coffee. It was free flowing, unlimited, and the seat reclined so far you can almost lie like in a bed. So absolutely incredible. We also had our own bathroom, which featured amenities, proper tiles on the bathroom. It just looked so much different than any other train bathroom I've ever seen in my life. So that was a huge surprise. I absolutely loved it. Also went on the executive class train that goes from Solo to Surabaya, and you know, there are different classes in Indonesia. There's also the premium class and the economy class. Those of course are cheaper, but I went on the executive train, and I will tell you the prices in the next video. I will make more videos about trains in Indonesia just to recap my experience. Please subscribe if you want to see that. The executive train was incredible value for money. It was a lot cheaper than the panoramic class. You don't get free food or drinks, but there's an attendant if you need one. Now, the second thing that really surprised me in Indonesia were the prices. And you know, I went to other countries as well, such as the Philippines and Thailand, and the prices are low everywhere compared to where I am from, Europe, Germany. But Indonesia has the best prices of all of them, especially for the food, really, because I don't remember paying more than $5 for any dinner, and I was there for 3 weeks. None of my dinners was more than $5, which is crazy. And even my accommodations were really cheap. I remember staying at the Menteng Park apartments in Jakarta, in central Jakarta. So it was right next to, you know, all these nice areas. Sudirman, and the Monas monument was really close by as well. And the price was incredible. It was under $30, and you had all the diplomatic cars with special number plates driving past. There were people in power staying in these apartments, and I was just walking in and out for $30 a night. It was crazy. Also stayed at an Airbnb in Bandung, which was great value for money. I also stayed at an Airbnb in Yogyakarta, as well as a hotel, a really nice colonial style hotel built by the Dutch in Solo, and also the Ibis in Surabaya, in the center of Surabaya, and everything was well under $30. I think under $25 even, each of these accommodations. So the value for money is just so good. You can't even get that in countries like the Philippines or Malaysia, because Indonesia is just the best value for money in Southeast Asia and perhaps in the whole world. Moving on, the food in Indonesia is just incredible. It is kind of similar to Malaysian food. Of course, there's nasi goreng, and I know Indonesians and Malaysians sometimes argue where it originally came from, whether it's Malaysian or if it's Indonesian, but I love nasi goreng no matter where it's from. Indonesians make it differently than Malaysians, and I love the taste in Indonesia a lot. There's also gudeg in Yogyakarta, which is very similar to the taste of nasi lemak in Malaysia, because the chicken is kind of like made in this coconut sauce, coconut broth, I don't know. So it's very sweet, has a sweet taste. It's very similar basically, and I love it. I also love sweets like bakpia. I made a food tasting video in Yogyakarta because in my opinion Jogja has the superior food in Indonesia, the best food in the whole country. If you guys know any food from Indonesia I should try, please let me know in the comments and I will do that. Also please subscribe because I want to return to Indonesia, and the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that I can go back. So please hit the subscribe button, it's free. The fourth thing that surprised me about Indonesia is a negative, unfortunately. A lot of people in the country of Indonesia are smoking. About 70%, so about 2 out of 3 men are smokers in Indonesia, and about 1 out of 5 women. So about 20% of women and about 70% of men, which is about 40% of the whole population. And it's not the fault of the people, of course not. It's the fault of the big companies that, you know, initiate smoking, that put the smoking banners and ads all over the country and then make cigarettes so cheap, so affordable for the Indonesian market. But unfortunately it's a big problem. Life expectancy is pretty low because a lot of people have lung diseases in their later years of life because they've been smoking their whole life, and you can't escape the smoke. I remember walking into the Matahari Mall in Solo and the smoke was just in my face everywhere inside the mall. I've never seen that anywhere in my life. I know a lot of newer malls ban smoking nowadays in Indonesia, but in cities like Solo it is very, very common and you see everyone smoking. I have Indonesian friends and all of them pretty much are smokers. It's just very unfortunate. So it's a very disappointing thing to see, and I'm very concerned for Indonesia's future if everybody keeps smoking. But let me know in the comments what you think of this. Obviously, as I said, I don't hold Indonesians accountable for that. It's everybody's personal choice, and the companies, I think, are the villains in this story. Last but not least, the nature in Indonesia is absolutely incredible and did surprise me because I did not expect so many mountains in Western Java. I was on the panoramic train and you can see all these hills, all these green mountains around you, those jungles, and the train weaves and meanders through the jungle. It's crazy. It kind of reminds me of the nature in Sri Lanka a little bit. It's gorgeous, it's absolutely amazing. And then you get into the plains and into the rice fields of Central and Eastern Java. In Eastern Java there's many mountains as well, many volcanoes like Gunung Bromo and Gunung Merapi in Central Java near Jogja. The nature is just so incredible. I actually went on a jeep tour up Mount Merapi and it was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life, guys. I tell you, it was amazing. So the nature is definitely one to behold. It is one of the coolest and most beautiful countries I've ever seen. Obviously I've only been to Java. I really want to go to Sumatra next. Also I've seen some photos and videos from Sulawesi. I think it's called Sulawesi, right? The island that's kind of like closer to the Philippines almost. It's absolutely gorgeous as well. Actually all of Indonesia. Flores Island is on my bucket list as well, as is Lombok, and I really want to return. So please hit the subscribe button and I will come back for sure, guys. But anyway, I will leave you guys here, and I hope you enjoyed this little bit different video of my experience in Indonesia, where I kind of recap and show some footage and tell you my experience and my opinion. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, please comment some encouraging words, invite me back, guys, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.